In their book Verne'st Intelligenz, Grzinigosa and Franz Blodov explained these connections precisely and clearly. The authors also quote sources presuming that in earlier times humanity had been just like the animals, very strongly connected to group consciousness and thereby acted as a group. In order to develop and experience individuality, however, we humans had to forget hypercommunication almost completely. Now that we are fairly stable in our individual consciousness, we can create a new form of group consciousness, namely one in which we attain access to all information via our DNA without being forced or remotely controlled about what to do with that information. We now know that just as we use the internet, our DNA can feed proper data into the network, can retrieve data from the network, and can establish contact with other participants in the network. Remote healing, telepathy or remote sensing about the state of another can thus be explained. Some animals know from afar when their owners plan to return home. This can be freshly interpreted and explained via the concepts of group consciousness and hypercommunication. Any collective consciousness cannot be sensibly used over any period of time without a distinctive individuality, otherwise we would revert to a primitive herd instinct that is easily manipulated. Hypercommunication in the new millennia means something quite different. Researchers think that, if humans with full individuality would regain group consciousness, they would have a godlike power to create, alter and shape things on Earth. And humanity is collectively moving towards such a group consciousness of the new kind. 50% of children will become a problem as soon as they go to school, since the system lumps everyone together and demands adjustment. But the individuality of today's children is so strong that they refuse this adjustment and resist giving up their idiosyncrasies in the most diverse ways. At the same time, more and more clairvoyant children are born. Something in those children is striving more towards the group consciousness of the new kind, and it can no longer be suppressed. As a rule, weather for example is rather difficult to influence by a single individual, but it may be influenced by group consciousness. Nothing new about this to some indigenous tribes. Weather is strongly influenced by earth resonance frequencies, Schumann frequencies. But those same frequencies are also produced in our brains, and when many people synchronize their thinking, or when individuals, spiritual masters, for instance, focus their thoughts in a laser-like fashion, then it is not at all surprising that they can influence the weather. A modern-day civilization which develops group consciousness would have neither environmental problems nor scarcity of energy. For if it were to use such mental powers as a unified civilization, it would have control of the energies of its home planet as a natural consequence. When a great number of people become unified with higher intention, as in meditating on peace, potentials of violence also dissolve. Apparently, DNA is also an organic superconductor that can work at normal body temperature, as opposed to artificial superconductors which require extremely low temperatures between 200 and 140 circumflex degrees C to function. In addition, all superconductors are able to store light and thus information. This further explains how DNA can store information. There is another phenomenon linked to DNA and wormholes. Normally, these super small wormholes are highly unstable, and are maintained only for the tiniest fractions of a second. Under certain conditions, stable wormholes can organize themselves, which then form distinctive vacuum domains in which, for example, gravity can transform into electricity. Vacuum domains are self-radiant balls of ionized gas that contain considerable amounts of energy. There are regions in Russia where such radiant balls appear very often. Following the ensuing confusion, the Russians started massive research programs leading finally to some of the discoveries mentioned above. Many people know vacuum domains as shiny balls in the sky. The attentive look at them in wonder and ask themselves what they could be. I thought once, hello up there. If you happen to be a UFO, fly in a triangle, and suddenly, the light balls moved in a triangle, or they shot across the sky like ice hockey pucks. They accelerated from 0 to crazy speeds, while sliding silently across the sky. One is left gawking, and I have, as many others too, thought them to be UFOs. Friendly ones, apparently, as they flew in triangles just to please me. Now, the Russians found, in the regions where vacuum domains often appear, that sometimes fly as balls of light from the ground upwards into the sky, and that these balls can be guided by thought. Since then it has been found that vacuum domains emit waves of low frequency that are also produced in our brains, and because of this similarity of waves they are able to react to our thoughts. To run excitedly into one that is on ground level might not be such a great idea, because those balls of light can contain immense energies, and are capable of mutating our genes. Many spiritual teachers also produce such visible balls, or columns of light in deep meditation, or during energy work, which trigger decidedly pleasant feelings, and do not cause any harm. Apparently this is also dependent on some inner order, quality and origin of the vacuum domain. There are some spiritual teachers, like the young Englishman and for example, with whom nothing is seen at first, but when one tries to take a photograph, while they sit and speak or meditate in hypercommunication, one gets only a picture of a white cloud on a chair. In certain earth healing projects, such light effects also appear in photographs. Simply put, this phenomena has to do with gravity and anti-gravity forces that are ever more stable forms of wormholes, and displays of hypercommunication with energies from outside our time and space structure. Earlier generations that experienced such hypercommunication and visible vacuum domains were convinced that an angel had appeared before them. And we cannot be too sure to what forms of consciousness we can get access when using hypercommunication. Not having scientific proof for their actual existence, people having had such experiences do not all suffer from hallucinations. We have simply made another giant step towards understanding our reality. Official science also knows of gravity anomalies on Earth that contribute to the formation of vacuum domains. Recently gravity anomalies have been found in rock at Decapar, south of Rome. The full article can be viewed in English on the Context website. http://www.fossablueduf.com/index_n.htm. All information is from the book Vernetzte von Grazinefossa und Franz Bluduf, ISBN 39002433237, summarized and commented by Bärbel. The book is unfortunately only available in German so far. You can reach the author here. Context, Forum für Bordersciences, www.fossablueduf.com